My wife wakes up at the same time every morning. Summer or winter, she sleeps through the night. No air conditioner, no fan, no cooling pillow, just a cotton sheet and a window. Last August, an English couple came by the farm. The woman looked tired. She said she had not slept well in 3 months. She was waking at 2 in the morning, soaked in sweat. The air conditioner was running all night. A $700 electric bill from June to August just for nighttime cooling. She had bought a cooling mattress pad for $80, a cooling pillow for $60, and cooling sheets for $45. None of it worked. She was still waking up drenched. My wife asked one question. She asked, "What are your sheets made of?" The woman checked her phone and said 100% microfiber. My wife nodded and said, "That is your problem." But before I explain what my wife meant, I need to tell you something about the material touching your skin right now while you sleep. I also need to tell you what my wife's grandmother used to say about how a bed should feel, because that one sentence explains everything. I will get to her. In the next 31 minutes, I want to show you 3 things. First, the reason your bed is hotter than your room, and it has nothing to do with the room temperature. The heat is coming from something that is touching your body for 8 hours every night, something you probably never thought to question. Second, why the bedding companies started selling this material in the first place and what they stopped making when they did. Third, the $3 fix that my wife showed that woman, which is the same thing every Amish home has done in summer for longer than anyone can remember, including the mistakes that will either leave you cold, leave you wet, or ruin the sheet. I will also tell you what happened when that couple tried it and came back a week later. Stay with me. You believe the room is too hot. That is what everyone believes. The thermostat says 75, and you think 75 is too warm for sleeping. So you turn the air conditioner down to 70 or 68. The machine runs all night. The room gets cold. You pull the sheet up over your body, and within 20 minutes, you are hot again. Not the room, you. The air in the room is cool, your skin is hot, and you cannot figure out why. Have you ever noticed that? The room is cool enough to need a sheet, but the moment you pull the sheet up, you start getting warm again. That is not your body being difficult. That is the sheet. When I explain what is happening between your skin and that fabric, you will want to check the tag on your sheet tonight before you go to bed. Here is why. The heat is not coming from the room. It is coming from the space between your body and your sheet. Your body generates heat all night. That is normal. In a healthy sleeping arrangement, that heat moves away from your skin, passes through the sheet, and dissipates into the room air. Your body stays comfortable because the heat keeps moving. The sheet is supposed to let it through. But that only works if the sheet allows heat to pass through it. Cotton does. Linen does. These are natural fibers that conduct heat the way a metal rail conducts cold when you touch it in winter. The heat moves through them and away from you. That is how people slept comfortably for thousands of years. Polyester does not. Polyester is plastic. The fibers are made from petroleum. They do not conduct heat. When your body radiates warmth into a polyester sheet, the heat does not pass through. It builds up in the thin layer of air between your skin and the fabric. That layer can reach 10 to 15 degrees above room temperature. Your thermostat says 75. Your skin is at 85 or 90. You are lying in a room that should be cool enough to sleep in, but your body is wrapped in plastic that is holding your own heat against you. Do you know what the word microfiber means? It means thin polyester. That is all. It is a name that sounds like a technology. It sounds like something engineered for performance. It is polyester thread made thinner than standard thread. It is still plastic. It still traps heat. And it costs less to manufacture than cotton, which is why every bedding company in the country switched to it. Here is the part that should bother you. Starting in the 1970s, the bedding companies began pushing polyester as a feature, not a compromise. They called it wrinkle-free. They called it easy care. They called it long-lasting. All true. What they did not call it was plastic that traps your body heat. The word plastic never appeared on any bedding label because who would buy plastic sheets on purpose? So they called it microfiber and performance fabric and moisture-wicking technology. Our people watched this happen from the outside, the way we watch most things the English world does. We kept our cotton. We kept our linen. Nobody in our community bought a wrinkle-free sheet because wrinkles are not a problem worth solving by giving up a cool night of sleep. My wife irons our sheets. It takes about 5 minutes. In exchange for those 5 minutes, she sleeps through every summer night. The English woman who visited us irons nothing and wakes up at 2 in the morning soaking wet. I will let you decide which is the better trade. My wife says she would rather spend 5 minutes with an iron than $500 on a power bill. I have learned not to argue with her about household matters. And then the industry went one step further. The bedding companies know polyester traps heat. They created an entire product category called cooling bedding. Cooling sheets, cooling mattress pads, cooling pillows, gel foam, all designed to solve a problem the industry created when it switched from cotton to polyester. And most of them are still made from polyester. The cooling sheets that woman bought for $45 were labeled moisture-wicking microfiber. She paid $45 for polyester sheets with a technology label, and she was still hot because the underlying material was still plastic. The cooling pillows are memory foam with a GL layer on top. The gel feels cool for about 20 minutes when you first lie down. Then it absorbs your body heat, reaches the same temperature as you, and the foam underneath, which is an insulator, starts trapping heat the same way the polyester does. $60 for 20 minutes of cool, and then the same problem for the rest of the night. Have you ever flipped your pillow to the cool side at 3 in the morning? That cool side is the side that was exposed to air while your head heated the other side. 20 seconds after you flip it, the new side is warm too. The pillow is not cooling you. It is just a surface that has not absorbed your heat yet. A cotton pillowcase does not need flipping because it conducts the heat away continuously instead of storing it. And there is one more thing that happens with polyester sheets that most people never connect to the material. You throw the sheet off because you are hot. Then you feel cold because the trapped heat escapes all at once. Then you pull the sheet back. Then you get hot again. That cycle, on and off, hot and cold, on and off, can repeat 5 or 6 times a night. Every time it wakes you up, even if only for a few seconds. A cotton sheet does not create this cycle because the heat moves through it continuously. There is no buildup and no sudden release. The temperature stays even. You do not toss. You do not flip. You do not wake up. You just sleep. Our people never had this problem because we never switched materials. We sleep on cotton. Some families use linen, which is even better for heat transfer. We have always used natural fiber because it is what we make and what we buy, and it never occurred to anyone to replace it with something from petroleum. The sheets on my bed right now are cotton. They are the same kind of cotton sheets my mother used and her mother before her. They wrinkle when you wash them. You have to iron them if you care about that sort of thing. My wife does iron them. But they breathe. The heat from your body moves through them and into the room the way it is supposed to. On the hottest nights of summer, when the air does not cool down much, even after dark, my wife does one more thing. She takes a thin cotton sheet, dips it in cold water from the well, wrings it out until it is damp but not dripping, and spreads it on the bed. We sleep under it. The water in the cotton evaporates slowly through the night, pulling heat from our bodies the same way the wet cotton in the window pulls heat from the air. By morning, the sheet is dry. You slept cool all night and the bed is not wet. That is the whole method. A $3 cotton sheet from any store, dampened with cold water on the nights that need it. I want to tell you something my wife's grandmother used to say because it is the simplest way I know to explain why this works. She said the bed should feel like a creek, not like a coat. A creek is cool because the water keeps moving. A coat is warm because the heat stays still. A cotton sheet lets the heat move like water in a creek. A plastic sheet holds the heat like a coat. The bed should feel like a creek. Here is how to set this up. Step 1. Check your sheets. Pull back the covers and look at the tag on your fitted sheet and your flat sheet. If it says polyester, microfiber, polyblend, or anything other than 100% cotton or 100% linen, that is contributing to your heat problem. You do not need to replace your sheets with expensive bedding. A thin cotton flat sheet from any dollar store or discount shop costs $2 to $4. That flat sheet is your sleeping cover for summer nights. Step 2. Remove the heavy bedding. Comforters, quilts, thick blankets, everything that insulates goes into the chest or the closet until fall. In summer, you sleep under a single thin cotton sheet. Nothing else. My wife changes our bed on the first warm night in May. The quilt comes off, the heavy blanket comes off, and a single cotton flat sheet goes on. It stays that way until October. If you get cold at 3 in the morning when the night air drops, keep a light cotton blanket folded at the foot of the bed to pull up. Most nights you will not need it. I know this feels like less than what you are used to. The English world sleeps under heavy bedding year-round because the air conditioner makes the room cold enough to need it. You are paying to cool the room to 68 and then piling on covers to stay warm at 68. Do you see the contradiction? You are paying for cold air and then insulating yourself against it. Remove the insulation. Let the room stay warmer. Let the cotton sheet do the temperature work at your skin. The machine can stay off. Step 3. Position your bed for air flow. This is the step most people miss. Your bed should be positioned so the window is to one side, not at the head or the foot. You want the night breeze to cross over your body from side to side while you sleep. If the breeze comes from the head of the bed, it hits your face and wakes you. If it comes from the foot, it mostly misses your torso. From the side, it flows across your whole body under the sheet and carries the heat away. Step 4. Dampen the cotton sheet on the hottest nights. Dip it in cold water. Wring it firmly so it is damp, not wet. You should not be able to squeeze water out of it after wringing. Spread it on the bed and sleep under it. The evaporation cools your skin directly and continuously. The sheet dries over about 4 to 5 hours. On most nights, that covers the hottest part of the evening from 10 until 2 or 3 in the morning, after which the air cools naturally, and you do not need the evaporative help. Now, here is where a mistake was made in our family that taught everyone a lesson about how much water is too much water. My oldest grandson, who is 17 and thinks he knows better than anyone, decided on a hot night to skip the wringing step entirely. He dunked the sheet in the horse trough and pulled it out soaking and put it straight on his bed. He said he wanted maximum cooling. What he got was a puddle. The sheet was so wet that it soaked through the mattress, ticking within an hour. By morning, there was a damp patch on the mattress the size of a dinner table. His grandmother, my wife, spent the next day drying the mattress in the sun, and she told him that if he ever put a soaking wet sheet on a bed in her house again, she would make him sleep in the barn with the horses. He has wrung the sheet properly every time since. Step 5. Leave the bedroom door open so air flows through from the window, across the bed, and out the door into the hallway. A closed door traps the air in the room and stops the cross flow that carries your body heat away. An open door connects the bedroom to the rest of the house, and the air circulates. Step 6. If your mattress is memory foam, put a cotton mattress pad or a folded cotton blanket between you and the foam. Memory foam is another insulator that traps heat from below. A layer of cotton between your body and the foam gives the heat underneath you somewhere to go instead of building up against your back. If this is making you think about tonight differently, I hope you will stay with us. I have something to share next week about your water that I think you will want to hear. I want to tell you what happened when that English couple came back. The wife had gone to the dollar store the same day she visited and bought 2 cotton flat sheets for $3 each. She told my wife that the first night she slept on cotton instead of her $45 microfiber sheets, she slept 5 hours straight without waking. She had not slept 5 continuous hours since May. She said she lay there at 5 in the morning when she woke up and realized she was not sweating. She said she touched the sheet and it felt cool, not cold, cool, like it was pulling the warmth away from her instead of holding it against her. The second night, she dampened the sheet because it was over 90 degrees. She slept through until morning. She came back to our farm a week later with tears in her eyes and said to my wife, "Why did nobody tell me it was the sheets?" My wife said because the people selling the sheets do not want you to know. That woman has not turned on her bedroom air conditioner since that week. Her husband told me their July electric bill was half of what it was the year before. Half. And all she changed was the sheet on the bed. Not the mattress, not the pillow, not the room, the sheet. She told my wife that she and her husband had been arguing about the thermostat every summer for 15 years. She wanted 68. He wanted 72. They compromised at 70 and neither was happy. Since she switched to cotton, she does not care what the thermostat says, because the temperature at her skin is comfortable regardless. 15 years of arguing about a number on the wall, and the answer was a $3 sheet. She said she felt foolish. My wife told her she should not feel foolish. She should feel angry at the people who sold her plastic sheets and called them cooling technology. My wife does not get angry often, but she gets angry about that. Now, I want to tell you what my wife's grandmother used to say because it is the simplest way to understand why this works. She said the bed should feel like a creek, not like a coat. A creek is cool because the water moves, the heat goes somewhere, A coat is warm because the heat stays. It has nowhere to go. A cotton sheet lets the heat flow away from your body like water in a creek. A plastic sheet holds the heat against you like a coat wrapped too tight. The bed should feel like a creek. That is the whole truth of sleeping cool in one sentence. And it came from a woman who never read a label in her life because she never needed to. She knew what cotton felt like, and she knew what comfort felt like, and she never confused the two. Now, I want to be honest about the limits, because I want you to trust everything I tell you on this channel. The damp sheet works best on nights when the air has some dryness to it. In our part of Pennsylvania, most summer nights have moderate humidity, and the evaporation works well. If you live in a place where the humidity stays above 80%, even after dark, like along the coast or in the deep south, the evaporation is slower and the cooling effect is smaller. The dry cotton sheet by itself still helps on those nights because it conducts heat away from your body far better than any polyester. But the damp method gives the most relief when the air has room to absorb the moisture. If you share a bed and your partner does not want a damp sheet, use separate top sheets. You dampen yours, they keep theirs dry. It works perfectly, and nobody has to argue about it. My wife and I have always used the same sheet because we both prefer it damp on the hot nights. But I know not everyone agrees on these things, and that is fine. If your mattress is memory foam, you have a second heat problem to deal with. Memory foam is good for support but poor for temperature. It is an insulator. It traps heat from below, the same way the polyester traps heat from above. You end up lying between two layers of insulation. A folded cotton blanket or a cotton mattress pad between your body and the foam gives the heat underneath you somewhere to go. And if your mattress has been soaked before and you worry about mildew from the damp sheet, put a dry towel between the damp sheet and the mattress as a barrier. The towel catches any excess while the sheet above provides the cooling. But if you wring the sheet properly, there should not be enough moisture to reach the mattress. My grandson learned that lesson for all of us. Here are 4 mistakes that will ruin your sleep instead of improving it. Mistake number 1, not wringing the sheet enough. I told you about my grandson. The sheet should be damp, not wet. If you can squeeze water out of it, wring it more. Damp cools, wet soaks. Mistake number 2, using a polyester sheet and dampening it. Polyester does not absorb water the way cotton does. The water sits on the surface, feels clammy against your skin, and does not evaporate evenly. It is a miserable experience. The sheet must be cotton. Check the tag. Mistake number 3, closing the bedroom window and door. The damp sheet cools your body through evaporation. The moisture has to go somewhere. If the room is sealed, the humidity in the room rises, and the evaporation slows down and eventually stops. You end up in a warm, humid, closed room with a damp sheet that is no longer cooling you. The window and the door must be open so the moist air moves out and dry air moves in. Mistake number 4, and this is the one I want you to sit with. Believing that sleeping cool requires buying something expensive or running a machine all night. The bedding industry has created an entire category of cooling products. Cooling sheets at $40 to $100, cooling pillows at $50 to $80, cooling mattress toppers at $100 to $200. Most of them are made from the same synthetic material that caused the overheating in the first place, with a technology label and a higher price. You do not need cooling technology. You need cotton. The simplest, oldest, cheapest fabric in the world. The fabric your grandmother slept on. The fabric our people have slept on since we first came to this country 300 years ago. Cotton breathes, plastic does not. That is the whole science of sleeping cool. Let me give you the simple numbers. The average family spends $200 to $300 per summer running the air conditioner through the night. Over 30 years, that is $6,000 to $9,000 on nighttime cooling alone. Add in the cooling sheets at $40 to $100 that need replacing every year or two. Add the cooling pillow at $60 that loses its effect in a few months. Add the cooling mattress pad at $100 that still sits on top of a polyester sheet that traps heat. Over 30 years, the cooling product cycle adds another $1,000 to $3,000 on top of the electricity. Total cost of sleeping hot with the wrong sheets for 30 years is $7,000 to $12,000. A cotton sheet from the dollar store costs $3 and lasts several years with proper washing. The water to dampen it costs nothing. Over 30 years, the cotton sheet method costs under $50 total, and you sleep better because the cooling is at your skin, where it matters, not in the room air 6 feet above your head, where it does not. There is one more thing I want you to understand about why this matters beyond the money. Sleep is not a small thing. A person who sleeps poorly for 3 months is not the same person as one who sleeps well. They are more tired. They are more short with the people they love. They do not think as clearly. Their body does not heal as well. The Englishwoman who came to our farm had not slept well in 3 months. She was exhausted. She was frustrated with her husband over the thermostat. She was spending money on products that did not work and feeling foolish for buying them. All of that went away with a $3 sheet. Not because the sheet is magic, because the sheet is cotton. My wife's grandmother was right. The bed should feel like a creak, not like a coat. The heat should move, not stay. Cotton lets it move. Plastic makes it stay. And the whole bedding aisle is full of plastic with comfortable names and technology labels designed to convince you that sleeping cool is a complicated problem that costs $50 to solve. It is not complicated. It costs $3. It has always cost $3. The only reason you did not know is that a $3 sheet does not pay for a television commercial, and a $45 sheet does. Cotton is at any store. The water is in your tap. Tonight, check the tag on your sheet. If it says polyester or microfiber or polyblend, you found the reason you have been waking up at 2 in the morning all summer. The fix is $3 and 1 trip to the store. Everything else, the cooling pillow, the gel pad, the moisture-wicking technology, that is a coat pretending to be a creak. And once you know the difference, you cannot unknow it. If you want to hear what I am sharing next week, that is on your screen now. Stay with us.